Welcome back, folks. Well, now everyone knows the home renovation business is very infamous for pricing asymmetry and not being very transparent. On top of that, also a lack of guarantee of quality. Now the O2O renovation business is set to resolve these issues.
Liu Yuxi, the founder of Huizhuang, is an IT management major from Sichuan in southwest China. Her previous experience includes establishing a furniture material e-commerce site during her university years. She established Huizhuang in May 2013 with 5 million RMB, or roughly 800,000 US dollars of her own money.
My first company dealt with furniture. While running that company, I realized that a lot of consumer demands weren't being satisfied. I had built up some capital from that company. I was still young at that time, and I wanted to do something big. The renovation industry is a 5 trillion yuan market, and listed companies have yearly sales of around 3 billion yuan. I chose to establish Huizhuang because I think there's profit to be found in this market.
Liu believes this platform is more transparent and less costly, a reputation that's not often associated with the renovation industry.
We got rid of a few things. The first to go was the unspoken rules of the business, like the construction company charging construction teams 40% commission and a lot of random fees. Second, we don't add any fees after the project has gotten started. Third, traditional companies often promote themselves as high-end, which is expensive. We have one standardized service station in every city, which saves us construction and promotion costs.
After Huizhuang found its footing, it received 20 million strategic investment from angel investment companies Lily Investment and Hongjun Saifu in May 2014. The company completed a 10 million Series A investment from Super Capital in March 2015. Industry insiders say investment like these are kickstarting the construction O2O business.
Since early 2014, which we call year zero of the O2O era, investment was flowing into every area, but renovation was still slow. One of the reasons it's picking up speed now is that internet on mobile phones has enabled it to change the industry. Second, there are a lot of problems in the industry, and it's a big market that the big venture capital companies want a piece of. When they invest more money, the market and the companies in it will grow.
Huizhuang now has more than 100,000 registered users. Over 2 billion RMB, or roughly 600 million USD worth of orders have been completed through the site. The company also has flagship stores on e-commerce giants JD.com and Tmall.com.
Since we went online on Tianmao on June 7, 2015 to August 20th, according to Alibaba's traffic analysis service, we're the third most visited renovation business on Tianmao over the last 7 days, and number 5 over the last 30 days. So you can see that among renovation companies, we've grown very fast since we entered Tmall.com.
Professor Jia, can you comment on some of the different types of O2O renovation businesses?
Of course. I think currently we're seeing 3 different types. The first one are companies like Tmall and Jingdong. So these are large internet platforms, right? Retail platforms. And their upside is they have access to a number of users. But the downside is they're not really solution providers of home improvement projects, right? But in any case, that's the first type that we see. The second type are newly established established companies like Qijia and Tubatu. So these are the two leading players in this market.
Right.
They basically take that internet thinking and they try to revamp the traditional renovation model, right, by basically getting rid of all the people in the middle.
Right.
So these are the new companies, but their challenge is there are many of them, and so the question is which one can win out the market eventually, right? And the third type of O2O renovation provider that we see are these traditional companies, right? They used to operate offline, but they're also trying to move online. So one example would be Yuan 在线, right? So Yuan is basically a mall that sells furniture, right? They have massive offline presence, but now they're also trying to tap into this O2O renovation by moving online, right? So their upside is, well, they already have a lot of resources offline, which will help attract business to their online presence. But the downside is, well, how do you create synergies between the offline and the online business?
That's right. Professor Jia, so what do customers look for when they're looking for a home renovation or home decoration company?
Right. Well, there's a survey evidence that shows the number one thing that customers look for is actually the service quality, and followed by brand of a company. And the third factor is actually price, affordability. Right? So what's interesting is when it comes to home renovation, price is actually not the most important deciding factor. Right? So what this means is chasing to the bottom in terms of price is not going to do it. Right? So you do have to improve on the service quality and on the brand premium as well.
This is your home. You want to be comfortable, so you're willing to spend a little bit more to get good service.
Exactly. And this is also because of the fact that there's huge information asymmetry between customers and service providers. So when they cannot discern the quality of a service, they look for brand.
That's right.
So that's why it's also very important for this company to focus on building their brand premium.
And brand equity.
Exactly.
I see.
Yeah.
Professor Jia, let's talk about competition. What are some of the winning factors for these different companies?
Right. Well, I think the number one winning factor is actually user experience, because home improvement projects, these are large household projects and involve a lot of expenditures. So as consumers, they're actually very careful and cautious in terms of which companies they want to work with. And as we know, throughout the renovation process, there are millions of decisions that you need to make, right? Which fabric and which kind of material do you want, which in terms of style, right? What kind of style do you want?
For sure.
So I think user experience is very important, in this kind of business. And the second is actually service quality, because this is one of those markets where the service process is very long, right? And basically the process involves constant back and forth.
Lots of people are involved.
Exactly, right? Between designers, the contractor, the users, right? So I think at the end of the day, the service quality is what matters the most, right? And a third winning factor is the depth of localization, in the sense that all these home renovation companies, they need to be localized, right? They need to go to the customer home for measurement, right? A lot of furnitures are delivered, basically in the local area.
Right.
So do you have a strong local presence? Do you have good relationship with all these local vendors? I think that's also very important.
So those who adapt to customers' taste and preferences are the ones who are going to win in the long term.
Right.
Well, folks, we're going to take a short break, but when we come back, we'll look at some of the bottlenecks of this business.